Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So today is the day 4 of herb series. In the previous video we have learned how we can draw and paint thyme plus coriander, basil plus rosemary and mint plus dill. So we have learned these 6 herbs. So in today's video I'm going to show you how we can draw parsley and how we can draw sage, and at the same time we are also going to learn how we can paint it. So let's start with the parsley first. So create a fine stem in the middle and create 3 to 4 sections around it. So I'm creating 3 sections, one in the top of the string, one towards left and one towards right side. Now you can divide this section into multiple subsections. So I'm creating this teardrop kind of shape, 3 in one section. So one left, one right and one in the center. So something like this you can do. You can add more sections towards the left and right sections that we have created in the round shape. So these things are totally up to you, like how many sections and bifurcations you need into your one parsley leaf. I have done something like this. This is my basic guideline. So I'm rubbing the unwanted pencil mark and I can see the pencil mark, so I can draw things now. Now creating one sections, you can add multiple serration into it. So you can do it as per your sections that you have created and as per your subsections that you have created, but serrations are important. So you can have deep serration and you can also have less deep serration. So something like this you can do. So I'm repeating the same thing for all the 3 sections of leaf that we have. This is similar to coriander, so it's difficult to have a basic understanding around these two, very similar to coriander. But one thing I have noticed is the middle leaf that we have created is bit pointed in the parsley as compared to the coriander. Now I have traced everything. Now you can add multiple lines and sublines into the leaf sections that we have created. You can also add folds as well if you want to. So I'm adding lines like this in each and every leaf section that we have, and then you can also add sub veins around the leaf to add more detailing into it. You can then add more shading and detailing to beautify this stuff, but this is the basic drawing that we can draw for the parsley. Now I'm adding more vines and shades around my leaf, but I'm using ball pen now. Just to show you, you can use normal ball pen also to do all these things. It is not necessary to use fancy pen to do these things. Now this is the basic drawing. You can do some extra shading and detailing like hatching, cross hatching to get some extra shades around your leaves, but again it is optional. So if you want to do some extra shading and detailing, do it, otherwise skip it and you can move to the painting part. So for the painting as well, I'm creating a basic guideline for myself like I did for the drawing. So I'm not doing too much in this one. I'm just focusing on creating segments like this, like we have created in the drawing. So one round shape has 3 segments in it, one in the middle, 2 in the left and right. So something like this I have created. So let me rub it. I can still see it. Now with the help of watercolor, I'm using size 6 round brush. Start creating 1 segments of leaf. So you can get a pointed end like this, and then you can add more sections to get some serration as well. At the same time you can create a little bigger leaf. Now you can start with the lighter shade of green and then you can add dark shade of green little bit towards here and there, not too much but little bit of light green and dark green, and you can add one single leaf like this. So it has 3 sections, multiple serrations, and one pointed end at the top of the leaf. So same ways we can paint other sections as well, but before that, if you want, you can add little bit of dark shade in between here and there. Now this is very simple. If you think about creating only one stroke leaves, the only difference is we are combining multiple one stroke to create something like this. So let me show you one more time. So create one leaf like this, and then keeping things intact with each other, you can create one whole section, and you will automatically get serrations as well. So it is only about practice, although it is very simple to paint. Now likewise you can paint other sections as well. You can use different shades of green color. So I'm using sap green color and deep green color to paint this parsley, and I'm using same kind of color for these stems as well. In the day 1 video, I have shown you how we can draw coriander and how we can paint it. The process is quite similar to each other, although it is little bit different. So you can refer to that video as well to learn how we can draw and paint coriander, and you can get a link into my description section for that video as well. Now let it dry for some time. Meanwhile we can draw sage. So for the sage, I think it is the simplest one to draw. So you just need to create a stem and then a longer oval kind of shape to create leaf. Now you can keep these leaves separated from each other, or you can do some overlapping while drawing it. So I'm doing some overlapping between these 3 to 4 leaves that I'm creating. So you can create a smaller, bigger, but little bit of overlapping and bit of different perspective if you can add. That is something important if you're doing something simple. Now that's the only thing we need as a part of sage drawing. So rub the unwanted pencil mark and repeat the same thing with the help of pen. But before that, my parsley is dried completely, so I'm trying to add more lines and veins into it to finish this particular one. You can do this step once your paint has dried completely, so that you should not struggle creating all these lines and pattern. So you can use fine brush to do these things, or else you can use tip of your brush, but make sure you have more control over your brush so that you can create some fine element using bigger brush. If not, you can use fine brush like this and paint all these things easily. Although this step is not something important, but if you're doing it, it is better. Now let's trace the sage drawing. So this is very simple, a longer leaf, a rounded leaf having one line in the center. You can keep these lines little wavy and curvy, and then because this leaf is very simple, I am going to do some other shading and detailing into it. So for the shading and detailing part, I'm adding dots around the middle line, and these dots I'm creating for all the leaves that I have. The sage leaves has very different texture, so I'm trying to achieve that texture using all these dots around the leaf area. Although I'm not adding only dots, I'm going to add few lines as well. So at one side of the leaf, or maybe both the side, but not everywhere, we can create dots like this, and then we can do some hatching process. Hatching means creating parallel lines close to each other. The closer the line, the darker shade you will get. So something like this you can do. I am creating all these lines again randomly here and there. I don't have any defined area to do these things, but you can do something like this for extra shading and detailing. You can use normal ball pen to do these things, or you can use needle pen as well. It's totally fine. Now we are done with the drawing. Now to achieve the sage green color, you need to mix blue and yellow equal quantity and a hint of gray in it. So to add gray, you can mix white and black together. So basically equal quantity of blue and yellow and little bit of gray in it, so that you can get sage green color. Now with the help of bigger brush and two strokes technique, you can create these leaves very easily. And this is my bigger brush, so I can create all these leaves using only two stroke. So you can create stems with the help of same color, and this is quite simple to paint. Now at one side of the leaf, I'm trying to achieve some different shade. So I'm keeping the sage color itself everywhere, but at one side of the leaf I'm going to add some bright green color. So with the help of sap green color, again I'm trying to add one more stroke around only one side of the leaf. So I want to keep my sage green intact, but little hint of bright green is something we can add. And you can outline the stems and the leaves with the help of bright green color or sap green color. So that is also you can do with the help of fine brush. You can also add middle line with the help of fine brush having different shades of green. So these things you can do. Now I really want to add little texture around my leaf area, so I'm using same sage green color and trying to add little dots around the leaf section. So you might able to see these things once your painting is about to dry or fully dried. If it is wet, you are not able to do it. So wait until it is about to dry or it is fully dried, and then you can add little dots to get some extra texture around your leaf. So this is what we need to do. We are done with the parsley drawing and painting, sage drawing and painting. So hope you have liked it, and see you guys in the next video.